What's going on YouTube? Josh here checking in, back with another training video. This is actually the last video you're going to be seeing filmed at this gym for any amount of time. This is the medical school gym, and I filmed this the week before graduating medical school. So I'm officially a doctor in case you missed that last video, and I'm on the move, so I'm in the process of moving. And this workout here, I only had about 45 minutes to bang out a quick leg workout just because the gym was closing and I was just super busy getting ready with the move and things like that. So I got into the gym, started off with some unilateral leg training, right, doing one leg at a time, and then finish up with some leg press for them leg gains. So this over right here are the front rack lunges. So I've been doing a fair bit more unilateral leg work lately. Myself, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the front rack lunge, primarily because it forces you to really stay more erect. If you're doing, say, a dumbbell lunge or even a barbell lunge where the bar is sort of over your back as if you were to squat, it's a lot easier for you to get away with leaning forward. And really the intent with these is really to stay as erect as possible throughout the entire movement. So you see I'm not really doing a whole lot of weight here, just because it takes a while to get comfortable doing these with proper form, once you start adding weight. So with these, really the key is just practice, really. You need to put in the time doing some decent unilateral leg work, and before you know it, you'll be able to do a little bit more. So over here doing some step ups, continuing with that theme of doing some unilateral work. Now you'll notice that there's no squats in this workout, and that's because the leg day before this I did some pretty intense squatting, and it just takes a while, when you're squatting, to warm up, to go through all your sets with your rest and things like that. And so given the fact that I only had about 45 minutes, I opted against squatting in this workout, and really wasn't that big of a deal. So here with these step ups, I'm only doing about 25 pounds, and with these, ultimately what ends up happening is as I move up in weight and such, the limiting factor ends up being grip. So in the future, if I continue doing sort of things like step ups and stuff like that, I'll probably go with a barbell, just because you don't want grip to be your limiting factor for your leg days. And so step ups versus lunges, the big difference for me at least, and probably for most people, is you'll likely feel the step ups as long as you're staying upright and you're not leaning too far forward. You should feel this quite a bit in your glutes. Now, a good thing to keep in mind is when you're watching from the side here, when you initiate the movement, if you sort of really push yourself forward, you start off with a more tilted torso angle, that'll actually reduce the load on your glutes. Okay, so if you're doing this, or maybe you're helping somebody else do this movement and they're doing that, that's usually a cue that you either have A, weak glutes, or B, the weight is too heavy. And honestly, for some people, doing these with just body weight is hard enough. So, like any exercise, you need to have no shame. You need to just kind of start off with whatever you can handle and then work up from there. I think this is only like 35 pounds in each arm, which is really nothing spectacular, but I'm just working on getting the form down and feeling comfortable doing this sort of unilateral work. So moving on to leg press after this, because we're all about them leg gains. And speaking of which, I don't know if you guys could tell from this video, but my legs have grown quite a bit since I started this channel at the beginning of medical school, like substantially, to the point where honestly I've ripped probably 4 or 5 pairs of dress pants throughout medical school. If it wasn't for having a long white coat to hold, cover up the hole in my pants, I would have been in big trouble. So the leg press, in the powerlifting community sometimes gets some hate because it's like a machine and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, I think it's a bunch of BS. I think that the leg press is a really great way to put on some substantial size onto your legs, and as a result of that, you can use that to transfer over to things like your squat. Now, of course, if I was preparing for a powerlifting meet, this wouldn't really be a staple unless I was maybe 16 or 12 weeks out, in which case I would use this more as part of a hypertrophy part. But I've been doing this a lot since I don't have any competitions coming up, and I've definitely seen a substantial increase in the size and definition in my legs from incorporating more leg press. And for leg press, what I've been doing is a lot of high volume work. Crazy stupid stuff like 5 sets of 20 or heavier sets, maybe 4 or 5 sets of 15, stuff like that. Really short rest intervals on the order of 1 to 2 minutes. And that does, maybe for some people that's not really short rest intervals, but I assure you, if you're doing sets of 20, your legs are on fire at the end. If you're, doing full range of motion, you're using a decent load that's hard enough, trust me, your legs will be on fire. I implore you to try something like that out, just to, mix it up if you're able to do that in your training cycle, because I'm telling you guys, this stuff is brutal. This will make a man out of you. So in this workout, I just did a bunch of sets. I think I was working with sets of 12 to 15. I started, I think maybe the first set I did 12s and then did some sets of 15. Now this set right here is a drop set. So I started off with 4 plates on each side, dropped it down, you saw right there, down to I guess 3 plates each side, and then I'll drop it again to 2 plates each side, which is really not that much. By the time it's 2 plates per side, it's just moving the weight. It's not even that difficult, but just because I've got that fatigue built up, I'm not really doing any rest intervals because it is a drop set. I'm telling you, this was brutal, and overall this was a pretty solid way to finish off the workout. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing any sort of drop sets on the leg press if it's not towards the end of your workout, just because it's going to leave you really shot. The only case that I would maybe change that is maybe if you were to do some leg extensions after this, like a single joint movement, you could probably get away with that. But anyway guys, that is the video. Be sure to comment below. I'm curious what you guys think of the leg press. Am I the only one who thinks it's freaking awesome? I wish I could afford one of these for the home gym that I'm building. But anyway guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like the video, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Add me on social media. Check out the website, thestrengthdoc.com. That's all I got for you guys. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Check out that fatigue face. Look at that. I'm about to die right there.